Hi everyone, and welcome back to Copperline Rattler Ranch. I'm Julia. It's been a while since we've done a video. There's a couple of reasons. A coworker that Dawn worked with passed away unexpectedly. That took us away for a little while. Also, I did a Windows update on the laptop, and that wiped out my video program that I had on the laptop. So I've been searching and searching and searching, trying to find a program that's easy to use, because I just was using a basic, simple program. I tried one. It's been frustrating to try and get that thing to work. So I've got another one that I'm using. It's simpler, but there's still some things that I think are not quite as user-friendly as the previous program. And then I've got a third program loaded on the computer, but one of my drivers has to be updated, and I'm having trouble updating that. So, we'll figure out how to get that updated, because that program's supposed to be super user-friendly. We'll see. But anyway, here's this week's video. Enjoy. So this is the lime plaster that I put on either side of these walls. You can see that it looks like I overstepped the tape, but that's not a problem. We're going to put a casing around, so the casing is going to cover that. If it's too lumpy bumpy, which I don't think it is, we could just scrape it off. But this area had a cleat exposed, so I wanted to cover it up. And on this side by the bathroom door, same kind of thing. Took it all the way up to the top. And this is some of that slaked lime that we slaked a few years ago in the big barrel. We still have some of that left. So I'm going to use it up first. Hopefully we have enough to do the whole room. I'm not sure. I just want to mix it up a little bit more with some of the water that came out of the barrel. So I'm going to get on with this. I'm going to re-wet this wall. Remember, you always wet your wall. I'm hoping this is going to work. I don't know why it wouldn't. The only time we've used lime putty before was in the bathroom on top of lime plaster. So this is going on top of the cob that we put on the earth bed. Keep that nice and wet. And remember, you always want it, you don't want it dripping, you just want it moistened. Let's see if I can do this. I'm just going to take some little bits with my little spat here. Oh, it's sticking. I just don't know if I want to keep getting dirty stuff in there. Just put it on the lid. I'm going to use the lid for my hawk here. Don is figuring some stuff out for this floor in here. So he's working on that while I work on this. The nice thing about this, as I noticed in the bathroom, was it makes for a nice smooth wall. It's going to hide the, I should just get my regular hawk. It's going to hide the little lumps and bumps, the little bits of grit or sand, little rocks, and the straw. Whereas the lime wash that we did in the bedroom does not hide any of that. Oops, I'm spilling. Drips before they become a problem. Not working. Is there ever a time we don't have a problem with something? Probably not. But that's okay. We got time. Yeah, like I said, we're going to just wait for this to dry a little bit more so it'll flake off easily. See, it's going to go bloop. And then we're just going to go ahead and put lime plaster on instead. Lime plaster is the lime, water, sand, and I'm putting some fiber in it on the inside of the house because we don't need the straw. I'm not going to add any pigment to it because we'll just leave it that nice light gray, and it'll work with this room really well. So, like I said, I'm going to let this dry a little bit so it'll flake off a little bit easier and not take a bunch of the cob with it underneath. Because like here, I just flaked that piece off, you saw me, and that took a little bit of chunk of cob. So it's sticking to the cob, but it's just so cracked. And I've been over it and over it and over it, and I've been keeping it wet, and it's still cracking. So my theory is, when I pulled the slaked lime out of the barrel that we mixed it in a couple of years ago, and it is sitting in the sun, that slaked lime did feel rather warm. Not hot, but warm. It's been incredibly hot, as you all know. And so I'm thinking that that might be part of our problem. We did wet the wall before, all the stuff we're supposed to do, just not working. So we'll just revert to something else. So that's what we'll do. We're nearly finished. We just have a little bit more to do on these walls. Let me show you. See these tops over here? And then on this wall, we have the top part to do as well. Of course, inside the door and the window, and this door as well. So we've got to do those parts too. Those are kind of a pain in the butt because you're working upside down and in complex corners, but we'll get there. So far it's taken us about a week, but only because we've only been able to mix for part of the day. It's been getting really windy in the afternoons again, and that prevents us from mixing. As you know, the lime powder will just blow and blow and blow, and then, it's just kind of nasty to deal with when the powder is blowing. So we hope to be done with this today, between today and tomorrow. And then we'll work on this floor, and then all I'll have after that is finish work. It's so exciting. Okay, so we're working on this plaster, the lime plaster, and we've run into a bit of a situation. So if you recall, I put the 1/4-inch mesh under here, filled that in with cob, and now as we're putting on the plaster, those staples have failed for some reason. So Don's gonna go grab a stapler, a pneumatic stapler, and we're gonna restaple all of this and go back over it with the plaster. So the plaster is wet, drying or curing, if you will, but the hole, at least to here, is failing. So he's going to grab that stapler, like I said, staple it back up there, and we'll then continue on. fixed it.
They just want to know if I'm getting them.
You're getting a treat spot?
Yeah, I wasn't going to say it.
Oh, sorry. I said the T word. T word and the B word. Okay, so the lime plaster is done in the living room. The next major project will be the floor. That's going to be it for this week's video. We hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Questions and comments in the comment section below the video. Come back next time and we'll see what we do next. We're going to be planning on working on the floor, and then we've also got some news about the outdoor kitchen. So we'll try and fit those both in the next video. Bye. Have a good day. See you next time. So we did a leveling compound on the floor over the weekend. Dawn's son and our grandson came up and helped us. That was a huge help. Mixing this stuff is just a pain in the butt. And Dustin and I were mixing while Dawn and Devin were doing the pour. So we're deciding what we're going to go with next. We're thinking epoxy. Stay tuned.